So good morning, everybody. Welcome to everyone here in the room and everyone who's out there in YouTube land. So let's get started with our first two community songs. Go to heaven. I'm so glad I am who I am. I'm so glad I am who I am. I'm so glad I am who I am. Thank you to heaven. Heaven is a place on earth Thank you, Marilyn. So welcome to everyone who's joined us in the room and everyone who's joined us on YouTube. I'm welcoming you to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living in Grass Valley, California. My name is Reverend Lani Howard, and I am grateful to be and honored to be your Minister Emeritus here at the Sierra Center. So it's my pleasure to remind us of who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of creation. We aspire to live authentic spiritual lives through practical applications of the teachings of the science of mind and spirit. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, each other, and the world. We experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, talents, and treasures. We intentionally promote our community and its teachings. So now we're going to invite our practitioner up to do our candle lighting. This is our inclusion candle. And we light this candle to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen, and to remind us of the light of spirit within all of us. So what's alive in you today? Spirit. Gratitude. Service. Peace. Happiness. Okay, lovely. That's a beautiful word. Health. Okay, we'll take it. All right. All the good. All the good. All the good. No, she's not serious. She didn't say health. All right. Although, if that was the feeling she was having, she gets to call it out. So we are a praying community. So there are lavender prayer request sheets in the seat backs in front of you. And if you're in the front row, they're over on the table by the front door. You can fill out those prayer sheets with a prayer request and put it in the little brown box there on the table next to the left of the door. And prayer is also available after the service with our wonderful practitioner, Cheryl Badbury. For those of you who are joining us virtually on YouTube, you can visit our website at sierracenter.org and click on spiritual support and then prayer, and then you can fill out your prayer request and our practitioners will reach out to you. If you are here for the first or second time, would you like to raise your hand if you feel comfortable? All right, welcome, Derek. All right, and let's see, this is the first Sunday of the month, so do we have any June babies here? Anybody who was born in June? Not a single person. Okay, well, out there, happy birthday to whoever has a birthday in June, because folks in virtual land can't let us know. So let's sing happy birthday anyway. Oh, do you have a birthday? Oh my God! She's brave enough. Oh, there.
Some of our members are Dave, Big David, and Farley both have birthdays.
Okay, all right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. All right. Good, good, good. We got to celebrate another year of living, indeed. All right. And now I'm going to invite Maxine up to give us our announcements for the week.
Good morning. My name is Maxine Cosby, and hello? Okay, I need to get it closer. I think you heard my name. It's Maxine Cosby. So today we are having our community meeting, I think it was just mentioned, and a potluck following. So please stay and join the group and hear about our minister search. And if you're interested in joining up with what's being revitalized is our compassionate care program. And anyone that feels like they have something that they could give or want to assist and be part of that program, we could use some helpers. At this point, I think that we don't have anybody right now, possibly, but keep in mind that that is a service that we provide. If you'd like a prayer partner for the week, sign up on the list in the lobby, and then contact another person after the after service. There's a Sacred Circle dance on June 3rd at 10:30, and you're to meet in Condon Park. And you can contact Judy with any questions, and her telephone number is 530-798-0385. It's also Poetry Open Night, and that is on Friday, June 7th from 5 to 6 with Reverend Lani. Bring your favorite poem to share in a safe and welcoming place. There's a cacao ritual on Friday, June 21st and June 22nd, presented by Juan and Liliana. They're members here. For details, please see the message board on the porch. There's a sign-up sheet in the foyer. Pre-registration is required as space is limited. June 2nd, guest speaker Rev. Mitch Austin joins us again for Sunday service. His talk will be Forgiveness is Your Superpower, and it will be followed by his workshop, Empowered Communication for Spiritual People, Simple Strategies for Difficult Conversations. We really need yard beautification volunteers. We've done well inside, people that have worked hard to make us look good inside. We could use some muscle out there in that gardens area. Please help set up the keyboard for the Peace Choir after service, and you can find Zoom links and details about all of our announcements in our weekly e-newsletter and on our website, sierracenter.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxine. All right. So now we have another community song from Marilyn. All right. Words by Ernest Holmes. Way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart.
joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Let's keep going for a little bit. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. One more time. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart, in my heart, in my heart, again in my heart, in my heart. Now really slowly in my heart, in my heart.
Thank you, thank you. And now it's the time for our inward shift. And I'm going to invite Shara forward to give us our sacred reading.
Well, good morning. I noticed a fly just flying around the room, and I thought, I wonder what it's thinking about this music. The reading this morning is from Reverend Rita Andriello Farron's new book, What Do I Need to Know? 101 Thoughts That Changed My Life. She is partnered with Patrick Farron, Reverend Patrick Farron, and the two of them run CSL Kauai. So they are dear friends, and Rita does a daily meditation that you can get to on Facebook if you're interested. And she wrote this book from notes that she had taken along the way. So this is her 46th entry, and it's called Bold Love Unleashed. So today's value is love, and there are so many ways to look at love, aren't there? Everybody has sort of a different point of view on what love really is, but we know that it's all love here, right? So this is what she wrote under Bold Love Unleashed. The famous words of John F. Kennedy echo in my mind this morning. Quote, "My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country," unquote. I ask this question in a different way. Quote, "My fellow divine beings, ask not what God can do for you, ask what you can do for God," unquote. When I use the word God, please remember I am not referring to a man on a cloud somewhere. I am referring to the very principle of life that is my life and yours. God is moving through all of creation, a divine principle creating from itself as us, as the universe. So coming from this place, ask not what God can do for you, ask what you can do for God. In answer to this question, what we can do for God is to express ourselves boldly and authentically. We can let God out. Another word for God in the mind of the great transcendentalist Ralph Waldo Emerson is, quote, love, unquote. God is love. The greatest expression of God would be to be bold love unleashed. Bold love unleashed is not afraid to live with passion. Bold love unleashed speaks its truth. Bold love unleashed shares its authenticity and fully. Bold love unleashed replaces fear with faith. Bold love unleashed is peace within the storm. Bold love unleashed has faith and trust in itself because it knows that the power that created everything is behind its very breath. Bold love unleashed lives as integrity and stands by its word. Bold love unleashed knows that its word is law and therefore always speaks its word with love. Bold love unleashed respects all life because all life is the life of God. Bold love unleashed has the audacity to say, quote, I am God, I am divine, I am you, and you are me, unquote. Bold love unleashed believes in itself because it knows that it is a divine expression of the Most High. In the words of Ernest Holmes, quote, whomever you are, be proud. You are a divine idea in the mind of God, unquote. Bold love unleashed takes responsibility for its life. When things look the worst, bold love unleashed knows that it is a co-creator of what is in front of it. If it is not serving the highest good, just as it was created, it can be uncreated and recreated. Bold love unleashed doesn't doubt its power because it knows that its power is the power that keeps the stars in balance and the earth spinning. Bold love unleashed creates a life that is harmonious and peaceful. It is peace. It places no limits on principle, and it lives free and focused on expressing principle to the highest and best. I am bold love unleashed, and so are you. We are connected in one field of energy. It's up to each of us how much of that bold love we want to unleash. The more we unleash, the more bold and loving the field is. As we ripple together, we create harmony and balance. That harmony is created by love and love alone. So that community value of love is the defining aspect of what we hold highest. So even when I'm reading political memes and things like that on the web and people are arguing with each other, I remember it's all love expressing in different forms. Yeah. So it's time for our inward shift. So I'll ring the bowl 3 times and we'll chant Om after each one together. And then we'll have a 5-minute meditation and then I'll say a prayer for us. that which glows forevermore on all of its creation, lighting it up to be observed by itself, and within itself that same light exists. And in all of its creation, there is that connection, that awareness of the principle of divine love, even when there are blockades and barriers. There is the light shining, and so we may see shadows or darkness, but we know when we shine our light, it brings that love forward, and the darkness disappears. I claim and know this for myself and everyone here at Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, both within this facility and out in the universe, watching and listening. We are all one. We are all points of light. We recognize the God within ourselves, that we are made of the same stuff as everything else in the universe. And so I know that there is a perfect wholeness that we share, that we were created in all the diversity that we appear as perfection, that we are growing in understanding that our concepts and beliefs that say otherwise are simply blocks that we can remove. And so when we look beyond those barriers, we see the truth in each one, in the little animals and birds, in the reptiles, and in our fellow humans, in the mountains, in the trees, in the plants, in the waters. We are all of the same stuff. The only thing that comes between our understanding of that is shadow of our belief. And so we release it right now, just letting go of all the misunderstandings, of all the difficulties and conditions that would show a diversity that is unloving. We know that the truth is that we're all love. And so I give great gratitude for this knowing and this understanding, and commit to the practice of a daily recognition of truth as I speak my word into the divine law that operates everywhere. I know that it is already done in spirit, and it is being demonstrated as we live it, as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. Now let's have our affirmation. I am bold, courageous, and brave. And so it is.
Now we'll have some special music.
That was last week's song. I'm doing a different song today. It's called Gotta Get Through It. I alone don't have the solution. What I've got is a bunch of confusion. I need your help to get me through, 'cause that's what I know I need to do. I've got to get through it. I need to go on, just got to do it. Keep singing this song. Ooh, there've been moments I wished I didn't have to live. There've been times I felt I had nothing to give. Yet any minute there is clarity when I realize that you are here with me. Gotta get through it. I need to go on, I've just got to do it. Keep singing this song. Ooh, there is a power in the universe, caring and loving you and me. We can go forward, we can go in reverse. You choose your destiny. But you gotta get through it. You need to go on, you just got to do it. Keep singing this song. When I watch myself from afar, I am bright and shiny as a star. That's because I am not alone. Here in my heart, we are at home. We gotta get through it. We need to go on. We just got to do it. Keep singing this song. Ooh, I've got to get through it. You need to go on. We've just got to do it. Keep singing this song. Ooh, you've got to get through it. I need to go on. We've just got to do it. Keep singing this song.
Thank you, Marilyn. All right. So our global theme, of course, for this year is a grand rising. And the monthly theme for June is holy boldness. Holy boldness. Sounds like holy moly. And you know, the Science of Mind magazine, you know, carries that theme as well, holy boldness. So lots of articles and daily guides on that theme. And the topic today is sacred audacity. Sacred audacity. So, of course, we know in the science of mind that words have power, and so it's important that we know what the words mean. So, of course, I immediately went to Merriam-Webster and said, what does audacity mean? And it says, intrepid boldness. So, of course, I had to look up intrepid. So, intrepid says, characterized by resolute fearlessness, fortitude, and endurance. Fearlessness, fortitude, and endurance. So it's really about, of course, everything is sacred. This we know. I mean, everything is sacred because we said we are living in a spiritual universe. So everything is spiritual, and thus everything is sacred. And so in the guides for this month, they posit 3 things we need to have in order to have this sacred audacity. Inner courage, tapping into our spiritual connection, and start with our imagination. So when we think about courage, I think sacred audacity is about the courage to be ourselves, to be who we came here to be, because we are all unique expressions of that one life. In this magnificent tapestry, we are all the threads, and the whole picture cannot be completed until we fulfill our role in the thread of that tapestry. So it's important that we understand and know the capabilities and possibilities that are ours. So it made me think of the fact that when I was growing up in the 50s, many moons ago, the opportunities for women were like teacher, nurse, because I was Catholic, nun, secretary, telephone operator, hairdresser, and then, that was sort of it. That's where you headed, and wife and mom. That was the primary thing you were intended to do, wife and mom. And so I decided that I was going to go to college. Now, no women in my family, and most of the men, had not been to college ever. I came from a blue-collar background. My dad was a lithographer, which is a highfalutin printer. And so, so they told me, we can't help you. If you want to go to college, you're going to have to do it on your own. So I did. I worked full-time as a directory assistance operator. Only those days they called it information. So we would have people call and ask us, how do I bake this? And, I'm like sitting there, I'm 18, I have no clue what. And anyway, so I worked there. I went to school full-time at the same time I was working full-time. And then I thought, I am sick of working, and I tried to get into a program at one of the universities, and I didn't make it, and I thought, phooey, I'm done with school. So I became a reservations agent for an airline. Now, that took a little audacity to go just stepping up into this job. I had no idea. And they moved me to LA immediately. I was 20 years old. I'd never been away from home before. And all of a sudden, boom, I'm in LA. I have to figure out where to live and, put together, linens and dishes. And fortunately, I had a furnished apartment, which they used to have in those days. And, so it was a pretty scary thing to do, but, it was a wild and crazy time. I lived a block and a half from the beach, which was not all bad. Until later when I got the skin cancer, but that's another story. But anyway, So then I moved back to the Bay Area, and then I had the audacity to decide, well, look, I've been going to school, I had these credits, I'm going to go to the University of California, Berkeley, because my cousin Steve is going there, and I know I'm at least as smart as he is. So I applied, and sure enough, I got in. And sure enough, a year and a half later, I graduated with a degree in history. And so, with a degree in history and a quarter, you could buy a cup of coffee. So, and I had put myself through school as a long distance operator, graduated from directory assistance to long distance. And so then I became what's called a commercial representative, which is the person who calls you when you haven't paid your bill. And so I was that, it was like, okay, good. And then they said, how would you like to be, I was what called ready now for promotion. Only the ladies who were already in those promoted positions weren't going anywhere. So they said, how would you like to be a computer programmer? And it was like, I have no clue. So I said, take this test. I took the test, and they said, you can do it. So I thought, okay, I'll do it. So sacred audacity, I stepped into being a programmer. And so I learned, they had a program there at the phone company. They trained you how to write code and test it and do all of that stuff. And they flew me back to Bell Labs to get classes in New Jersey. And so it was pretty exciting stuff. And I did that for 7 years. I was a programmer. Then I trained programmers for 3 years. And then I became a project manager, which is how I finished out my career. So how did all that prepare me to be a minister, for God's sake? You can never tell where life is going to take you. You just take the next step. Spiritual, at least in my experience, that spiritual guidance is sort of like headlights on a dark night. You can see, 100 feet ahead of you, and that's it. You can't see beyond. So you just keep going 100 feet, 100 feet, 100 feet, and you get to your destination. So I went, from this position to that position to this job to that job. And at some point, I went to a retreat, and this woman said, if you like this retreat, I think you'll like my church. And so she took me to the Science of Mind Church in Marin County. And I thought, these people are saying what I believe. I believe all this stuff already, and they're saying it, and they're not only saying it, they're elaborating on it. Because I had sort of been going along unconsciously, and they said, you can do this consciously. You can think about what you think about. You can move through the world and in a more conscious way, and that what you think matters. What you think matters, not just to you, but to the collective consciousness that we are all swimming in. And that we have access not only to that collective consciousness, which is full of all kinds of stuff we don't necessarily want to be associated with, but we can also be connected to that infinite consciousness. There's a quote in today's Science of Mind that says, Meister Eckhart, who was like a 12th century mystic, said, between me and God, there is no between. Between me and God, and there is no between. And of course, being raised Catholic, God was up there. It was the big guy on the cloud. And then when I came here, they said, this Dr. Ruth, who was not the one on TV, she was a very wonderful minister, and she said, don't look up when you're talking to God. Look in. That's where God is. And I think, one of the ministers at Asilomar had heard that talk, And so when he was doing his thing, he said, God. So I think all of us have that sacred audacity. We have that capability. We have that possibility. It is absolutely within us. And we have to tap into that spiritual connection, which is the next thing they said. You know, the thing is, that's what I did. When I came to the science of mind, I really tapped into that spiritual connection. And believe me, I did sweat lodges, I did fire walks, I did the whole 9 yards, because I was really dipping in with both feet into this spiritual river. And as one of my teachers said, any path will take you to God. You just have to follow it rigorously with that, fortitude and endurance. You follow that path wherever it takes you. And so it took me to ministry. It took me to ministry because I started listening to that inner voice, and it said, remember when you were a little girl, you used to play priest? And it was like, oh, I wanted to do this, but of course in the Catholic Church, that was not a possibility. And so when I actually went for the interview, you have to go to an interview before they let you into the final year of your ministry to just complete the courses and everything. You have to go before a panel. And I sat there and I remembered being a little kid playing priest with the Necco wafers. Remember those? Those were our host. And, anyway, I thought I wanted to be a spiritual teacher of some kind back in the day. And here I am actually doing it, stepping into ministry. And so as I went into that room, tears were streaming down my face. And I just told them what I had realized. And they were like, okay, you're in, So, I love spiritual stories. I love spiritual stories. And so one of the stories that really has touched me in the past is one about a monastery. And in this monastery, it had been a very, prominent monastery. It had lots of pilgrims coming all the time, and lots of people wanting to join the monastery. But then it was falling away. People weren't coming anymore. The young men weren't coming to join the monastery, and they just had a few older monks who were still there. And so things were sort of heavy. And then there used to be a rabbi who would come and do a retreat in the woods every year. And all the monks would say, oh, the rabbi is walking in the woods. The rabbi is walking in the woods. And that just sort of, knowing he was there, sort of gave him a little spiritual uplift. So finally the abbot, the head of the monastery, decides he's going to go talk to the rabbi. So he goes down into the woods and he finds the rabbi's hut. And as he approaches the rabbi's hut, the rabbi is standing there with his arms wide open. And so the abbot comes up and they hug each other like old friends. And then the abbot invites him inside, and they sit in front of the scriptures. And then the rabbi starts weeping. He starts sobbing. And so the abbot started sobbing. And they both were sitting there sobbing their hearts out, tears falling on the table. They were just crying and crying. And so finally the rabbi said, you've come to me for a teaching. And so I'm going to tell you what it is. And then you can tell your congregation, your monks. But then you must never speak of it again. And so he goes, okay. And the rabbi says, all I know is one of you is the Messiah. So he heads back up to the monastery. He tells all of the monks, the teaching is, and we must never speak of it again, the teaching is one of us is the Messiah. And of course the monks are all going, who could it be? Could it be, Brother Joseph? Could it be Brother Thomas? Could it be Brother Frank? Could it be me? Could it be me? And so after that, they all treated one another with such love and respect, and they deepened their spiritual practice, realizing, how could it be if I am the Messiah? What does that mean? How can I express that? How can I be that? And so all of a sudden, people started coming. They felt that love. They felt that vibration. They felt that wholeness. They felt that realization of that presence of the infinite right where we are. And so people started coming back, and young men started coming to join the monastery, and they were thriving again because they recognized that presence that was in each and every one of them, and it's in each and every one of us. In a way, we are each a Messiah to those in our life. So what are we bringing to our life? What are we bringing to our families, to our friends, to our community? What are we bringing out of our love and out of our connection? Or are we stuck in fear? You know, the two most powerful emotions are fear and love. And fear, when something gets manifested, it's because you have a powerful emotion connected with an intention. And so a powerful emotion connected to an intention can be faith or fear. So we have the gift of imagination. That's the other thing in this sacred audacity. So what are we imagining about our present and our future? Are we holding a high intention for the highest and best, or are we worried and fearful and concerned? And the world says, be fearful, be concerned, be upset, feel separate. And we have to say, no, thank you. I am holding the realization of love as the truth of who I am. The truth of who I am is that loving presence, is that one life, that life of God that is our life. So we have to remember that faith is sort of like a muscle. We have to exercise it. So we listen to that still small voice and we do what it says. I mean, how many of you have ever heard a voice that said, you really shouldn't do that, and you did it anyway? And you thought, I shouldn't have done that. So it's the same kind of thing. We have to listen to that voice, and when it says, don't do that, we say, I don't think I want to do that. Forget it. And, we've already done our visioning for our new minister, but our real responsibility now is to let go of our fear and to have faith that the perfect person is being called to us now, and to hold an embrace of love for this imaginary minister that we want to be appearing in person. And so we hold that high intention. And every time we feel the fear, because it comes back, it's like, persistent. But when we feel it come up, we have to declare the truth. Say, I don't accept what you are telling me here. I am not going to accept that fear. I am going to accept faith. I am going to move forward in faith. I am the presence of the divine in me, and that power and that presence is absolutely calling me to manifest our new minister right here and right now. So we can remember to deal with it day by day, thought by thought, moment by moment. Change your thinking, change your life, right? That is Ernest Holmes' bottom line. So we put the emotion of love into our thought of this new minister. And sending that love out, we are calling that love in. The love, the enthusiasm, the energy, and we have to put our mind into what it is already happened. If it's already happened, how do we feel? Do we feel joy? Do we feel enthusiasm? Do we feel relief? You feel those feelings now, as if it's already true. So we pull ourselves back into the feelings of those things, that realization of accomplishment and joy and relief and harmony and wholeness. And we stay there holding that truth, because that's sending the message to the universe that is activating that attractive energy to bring that minister to us. So I'm going to close with a little quote from Ernest Holmes. And I'm sort of saying it because, as you know from what I've told you about my life, I've been around for a while. And so it says, whatever your years, there is in every being's heart the love of wonder, the undaunted challenge of events, the unfailing childlike appetite for what's next, and the joy and the game of life. You are as young as your faith, as old as your fear, as young as your hope, as old as your despair. In the central place of every heart, there is a recording chamber. So long as it receives messages of beauty, cheer, and courage, so long are you young. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now is the time for our musician to come back and sing us another song. And this is a community song, so we get to sing along to this one.
Yes, please do sing along. This one goes kind of quick. I know you can keep up with me. Some of you have heard it before. It goes like this. Sorry. I see what I need to see as I learn to live in serenity. I know what I need to know as I practice being in the flow. I do what I need to do as I learn to live a way that's new. I say what I need to say
All right, and now is the time of conscious giving. So let's stand up and say our prosperity affirmation together. You can hold your gift over your heart and say, I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. All right, you may be seated. And thank you, Pat, for gathering the funds.
You can join me in this chant if you'd like. We are dancing in spirit, each of us knows our part. We are dancing in spirit, each of us knows our part. We are dancing in spirit, each of us knows our part. One more time. We are dancing in spirit, each of us knows our part.
So we bless these offerings, knowing that they go out into the world to bless and prosper our community partners, and to bless and serve this community, so that we may indeed bring forth that effort of thriving, that realization of loving connection. And so we just give thanks for the good and know that the blessings that we have provided here come back to each giver, pressed down and unfolding in greater ways. I give thanks, I call it good, and so it is. All righty, so we have some thank yous. Thank you, Marilyn, for our music today. Thank you to Shara for being our practitioner. Thank you to Gary for being everything. He was doing the sound, he was doing the PowerPoint, he was doing the YouTube. So he is a one-man band over there. And thank you to our greeter and usher, Pat Cooper. Thank you so much. And thank you to you for coming. And Sue. Sue for making the coffee. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Sue. And for Maxine, who gave us our announcements. Thank you, Maxine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what are you taking away with you today? Joy. Love. Boldness. Gratitude. Live audaciously. Yes. Be your audacious self.
Headlights, and you only followed so far.
Yes, right. Remember the headlights. Yes. All right. But we keep that goal in mind. We know where we're headed, and we just take whatever steps are called on to bring us there. All right. So let's stand for our benediction. And I'll say it, you repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It is this thing called oneness. It is this thing called holiness. It is this thing called audaciousness. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. Because I am it. And so it is. And And now let's stand for our closing song.